Hello, hello, hello. Let's put the music back up. And one thing I'm going to have to do is also get the Twitter chat up on a separate window. Just turn that down ever so slightly. There we go. Cool. Right. Let's open up the Twitter chat in a different window so I can see what's going on. Twitter. Bam, 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 bam. Mute that. Right. And that is Twitter chat open. I've got YouTube chat over there. And the multi-stream chat over there. Sweet. Okay, last thing I'm going to do is just quickly add the chat onto the stream. Oh, come on. Bam, 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 bam. Yeah, add source, and let's stick that here. Okay, sweet. Right, now that's blowing out my retinas. So, how do I make this? Preferences, languages. Ooh, let's see if I can sign up. Bam, 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 bam. Do 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 do. Pop that headphone off. There we go. Be sure to let me know if the music's too loud or anything like that. Ooh, let's not do that. So we just want to use it for free for now. That's Exscalidraw Plus. Right, let's not do that for yet. I'll do that another time. But we shall change that to system preferences. And I'm going to pull up some notes I made earlier today, which we shall do. Should keep me on track. Just draw a circle around that. There we go. Actually, nope. That'll do. Okay, so first things first. I actually want to talk about what it is I am actually building. So what we'll do is we'll grab the text tool here, and I'm going to pop in here, and we're just going to change this to large or Excel. Oh, there we go. And we're going to say feature realm. 2 words. Okay, so what is feature realm? Feature realm, and this thing that I've been building on stream for like the past 4 or 5 streams, is basically going to be almost like a repository of different features and things like that. And these features, people can think of it, how do I explain this? Think of it similar to something like Product Hunt, but instead of uploading products, you're uploading features of your product. The idea then is people can search Feature Realm for features and things like that. I think for that I'm going to use something like Algolia, but we haven't got that far yet. Um, and then, you know, by virtue of searching for the different features they want in an app, they can then discover new products and things like that. Now, the features themselves can be upvoted and things like that, similar to Product Hunt, but again isolated just down to the feature level. And we're also going to be adding a comments feature to that as well. That will essentially I mean, it allows people to validate. So these features don't have to be live; they could be things you're considering and things like that. And this will essentially allow people to discover new features and products, b validate and figure out if these features are actually things that things that people are actually interested in. But yeah, no, absolutely. Um, So, to get started, what is Feature Realm? Feature Realm is, let me just pop back over here, and we're just going to click on that. Feature Realm is a repository, or a searchable repository of features belonging to products. So I drop that. We'll leave it like that, it's fine. Cool. What else is it? It is a way for indie builders to get feedback on features on a way for indie builders to get feedback on features their products provide. Yeah, I mean that's it in a nutshell. It's a very simple project, and a couple of reasons I wanted to build it. I wanted to build something, and this is the first thing that came to mind. And instead of procrastinating and you know trying to figure out what I wanted to build and stuff like that, I just decided to go for it. The next reason in building this is I spent a lot of time on a project a little while ago, um, basically trying to figure out um, what features to include in an app I had in mind. And although the app itself never came to fruition, um, the idea for creating and writing an app or a platform where I could have published these features and just got feedback on the features alone without the full product is sort of what inspired this. Um, so yeah, that's where this essentially came from. Um, yeah, okay. Um, one feature I haven't decided on whether I'm going to include on this or not, and I'm probably not going to include it on the MVP, is essentially the ability to anonymize the product itself and just have the feature. And the reason for that is you can then say if your product is actually quite well known, you can anonymize the product and just include the feature and just get feedback on the feature itself. By doing this, you can eliminate the bias of the product itself. So people, people might be like, "Oh, I'm not using that product," but actually, that feature kind of speaks to me, and things like that. And I thought that might be a pretty neat idea, but again, maybe something for later. But that's this in a nutshell. So the next thing, what this needs is, well, the users themselves. Now these are most likely to be indie makers and things like that. Um, and so because of that, um, in fact, let me just check something very, very quickly. Let me pop this, open another window here. Um, yeah, of course I can turn up the mic some. Give me 2 seconds, I shall do that now. Um, in fact, I'll probably turn the music down as well. We click this. Is that any better? In fact, move it closer to my face as well. In fact, I'm going to turn the music off. There we go. World of difference. Fantastic. Yeah, I'm still getting used to this setup and this microphone itself. But let's turn that off. There we go. Fantastic. Pop this over here. Cool. Okay. But that's the idea of the app itself, anyway. The next thing I want to, it's going to include is obviously users themselves. So if we just pop this here, and I'm going to turn that into Excel to make it visible. Is everything visible, by the way? Which it should be. Right, so users. Let me just move this over. And we'll pop some more text. Medium, probably. So users are going to have their, well, a bio of some kind. So let me just, so a bio of some kind. Next thing they're probably going to have, or it will be like links to social media, Twitter. What else? We'll say, Twitter, LinkedIn, be a good one, I think. YouTube, and then etc. We'll just allow people to add those as they see fit. I think another one will be their like history. So so obviously with the list of features being on there, I think a good one will be for people to or for the profile pages themselves, if anyone visits the profile pages, just see kind of things those users have liked. So that way it's almost like a community, in the sense that anyone sort of researching products and features and things like that, they can go through and see what other people have liked, and it's really that sort of discovery aspect which I'm going for, I think. So a like history will be good. This one, sort of comment history. I think personally, not for the MVP, but might be worthwhile. Maybe not, but you never know. So we'll take that. So that will be our users stuff. So let's just whack that in a box as well. And another thing that'll be on there will be a products archive. So let's just put this here. We'll say products archive, like so. In fact, can I group this stuff on? Yes, I can. Sweet, happy days. So let me just pop this over here and we'll group that as well. Okay, next thing will be a products archive, which will essentially just be, if we grab this and we'll put it back down to medium again, list of products, product categories, like so, and each product will link through to a product page. Simple as that. So we'll grab that and we'll stick that in a box there, like so. We'll group that so I can move it around. Bum 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 bum. What I have lost is I had a Twitter chat open a minute ago. Where's it gone? Sorry, bear with me. There we go. Okay. Cool. Alright, so next thing we'll have open is next thing is what exactly a product is going to have. So really I'm going to stick that here. So that's almost like a page, and this is how I'm sort of trying to organize this. We've got feature realm itself, which will be the home page, I guess. Then we've got a products archive, and then we've got users, so I'm going to pop those there. The next thing we kind of want to do is talk about product single, or well, single product, like so, and then we'll change that to Excel again. Pop that here. And a single product. So a single product, if we click this, so is going to have a title, a tagline. What else did I put? Got notes here to keep myself on track. A category. Just going to have a full description of what it is. We're going to have almost like an array of links. And then we're going to have well, we'll put that one last in a second. It's going to be linked to a user. And it's going to act as a category for features, like so. I don't think it needs anything else. No, so we're not going to have feedback, comments, or anything like that on the products themselves. The products themselves are just almost like gateway. You've got product hunt and things like that for that. So we're just going to leave that as it is. Put that there. And we'll just put a box around this, like so, and group all of that. Oh, that doesn't actually. Well, there we go. I had to highlight the whole thing. There we go. What else? So that's going to be your single product, like so. Then we need to have so we're going to duplicate this, and let's just pop in here and say features archive. And that is going to be a list of features. We're not going to... suppose the interesting thing about mapping this out is that if you have products that belong to categories, right, then the features should almost inherit the category of the product. But I almost feel like because features are the main focus of this platform, that I should allow the features to have their own categories, if you will. But yeah, we'll let them have their own categories. I think, or no, they'll inherit the category of the product. No, what have I done? Oh, resized it in a wacky way. Let me just put that back to how it was. There we go. That's better. Sweet. Okay. So we'll grab that and we'll say inherit parent product category, like so. Yeah. Features archive. And then user should have ability to like feature from feature card, like so. Okay. And let's just move this box down a bit, like that. Okay. So far that's what we got. These are, and I mean, the way mind mapping stuff out like this is also quite useful because it gives me an idea as I'm building this what the database schema it should look like. One of the funny things is I've been building this out already, and unfortunately what I've managed to do is, because I haven't planned it out properly, I just kind of jumped in, started building. I've built the form pages and things like that out without really knowing what I was going to be building. But yeah, so I've decided to take a step back and just do it properly. So let's zoom in on this a little bit, and then what we're going to say, so if we grab this and we put that next to that, and then we move this down a bit, and we wrong button, there we go, grab that down there. And then if we, so I just want to grab some arrows and just want to connect that to that, connect that to that. You know what, actually, we'll do that at the end. And so single feature. Now the single feature is, let me take my headphones off, nothing's actually coming out of them. Single feature, so the single feature is going to have, I mean, it's interesting to think the feature is almost going to be exactly the same as the as the product. And if it's going to be exactly the same as the product, database, it almost needs to share. I mean, I could create a separate table in this case and call it entity entity, not config, but entity settings or something like that, and then they both sort of use that, but I don't think, I think because the features could over time move away from that sort of setup, it's probably not worth doing. So the one thing that this, so if I pop in here and we hover over this, oh crud, so we're going to have likes by user. How about just entity? Yeah, we could have, yeah, just entity. I suppose it depends if, again, as I was saying, because over time I see features sort of having more to them, so I kind of think I want to have them as a separate schema, if you will. So I think, at least for this early version, I'm not going to overcomplicate it. I'm just going to have them as two separate schemas in the database. But we'll say likes by user. And then we don't want to do that. And then we can have it so that the users, so I've maybe dragged this over here to the users going to be linked to both of those. Yeah, we'll do it that way, I think. So then we'll pop down to here and we'll just put comments as well. So we'll drag that so that we can open that up a bit. Okay. Yeah. Feature realm, product archive, single product, features archive, single feature. So these are essentially the categories for features. Then you do single product, which is like a landing page for products. Tagline, category, description, links, linked to a user, so that'll be linked to there. Single feature will have all of that stuff on it. One thing this will need as well is images, which we'll use S3 for, but I won't go into that for now. What else did I have? Reviews, yeah. So one thing I was thinking is maybe I should at some point include the ability to rate and review products, and have that as a premium feature. Just gotta make money, right? But maybe not for the MVP. So I kind of had this image in my head of people being able to, what's the word? Include like a single script, almost like an iframe, maybe. That when they click a button, it opens up this pop-up that allows people from their app. That allows people to review the product from there. But I'm not sure about that one just yet. And I have a bit of research to do in terms of how cores would work and the iframe stuff and whatnot as well. But that's worth looking into at some point. But the next thing I need to have on here, I think, is we open this up and we click that. Comments. And we'll click that. So, and then we'll click this again and text. Medium, there we go. Stick that there. And so the comments are going to have text. Linked to a user, and potentially stored in the schema a parent comment. So then we can have it like people replying to comments and things like that, which might be quite handy to have. I think so anyway. But we shall draw a box round that. Okay. So, I mean, as you can tell, it's an exceedingly simple sort of idea, but I think for an MVP, I can sort of gauge whether it's worth building out after I've got the initial thing set up. But what we'll do is just for we shall. Well, we know feature realm's going to have all that stuff, so we won't bother drawing arrows from that, but we will say that links to that, and product archive, and then single product can have a product archive like so, and then single features will be linked off of the feature archive, and then we shall have comments linked to a single feature like so, and then we'll have users that have comments and they will own features like so. They will also, in fact, there we go. And then users will also own features like so. Yeah, I think that I was actually thinking about spending quite a bit longer on this, but I don't think I need to, because that's all it needs to be for now. Obviously, I'm going to hop into Figma and start sort of mapping some of this stuff out. In fact, let's do that now. So I've started doing some stuff. In fact, let me just drag this off that window quickly, just to make sure I'm not going to accidentally share something I shouldn't have. We just so we'll continue with Doodle. That one. That's logging in. Delete that. Okay, I will drag this back into here. Now, for this Figma thing, what I've actually been doing is, let me just, yeah, there we go. Now for this Figma thing, what I've actually been doing is mapping it. I've set up a few components already. Well, I say a few. I've set up one component, which is this header component here, and inside this header component, it should, at least I thought it did, have. So let me delete that, and I think if I just put in custom components header bar and drag this up here like so. Yeah, so I've set up some custom properties on this header component that allows me to show and hide things so that it works quite, well, makes it incredibly reusable essentially. Now, one thing I don't remember how to do in Figma is show rulers. There it is. Yeah, figured it out. Okay. So essentially, if I now pop over here and I grab the frame tool, and that's not what I wanted. Where is it? Frame tool. Aha, here we go. and I just grab, I don't know, a large Android phone, and we pop this over here. We'll move over there so it's well out of the way. Now if I wanted to reuse that header component, which is this header bar, I think is I called it, yep. And we stuck it at the top here, like so. And I resized it to like so there. And then we tap the avatar on, we turn the navigation off, and we show the burger. You can see how reusable that essentially is, due to sort of the auto layouts and stuff that Figma comes with, which are incredibly useful. So as you can see, this is the exact same components over here. There's just a few different options switched around. Now, just to go through the Figma setup a little bit that I've got, I have essentially, so if I pop on over to ShadCN UI, and we pop into here and pop on over to the docs Figma, there is this Figma community file here, which I'll just quickly go over when that opens up. There it is. Now the only downside to this file is it was last updated a year ago, so there's a lot of the newer CN components that actually aren't included in this. Hopefully at some point Pietro actually turns around, is able to update it, but I mean, for what it already includes, it's pretty damn useful. And you can see there's some components here that are built up. So if I go over this collapsible section here, you can see there's various different bits in here, and these components are all made up of the primitives which are included in here. And you can see so if we take the button for example and we pop back on over, so if I skip back, these components have all been what's the word I'm looking for? I've all been sort of Pietro's basically gone through all of the ShadCN components and made a component for them inside Figma, which allows sort of designers and whatnot to go ahead and use ShadCN components and design as the developer would be using, which saves a lot of time, which is quite handy really. But if I now pop back on over to our home page and we open up Exscalidraw again, the first thing is that I have missing is a searchable. So the idea is this is a searchable repository of features belonging to products. So one thing this is missing is the ability to search. So what I'm going to do is pop over onto custom components, which is where I've got all the components I'm making for this, and we're going to include a search bar of some kind. Now just to quickly walk you through how this is set up, I like to use Figma like I'm coding essentially, and I like to think in terms of flexbox and things like that. It's because I work because I'm a developer. Well, I used to be a designer, but turned developer. It helps me sort of. It helps for me to build and design these components as if I was coding them up. So as you can see in here, we've got the main component, which is an auto layout. And then this auto layout is essentially just centering everything and making almost like a flex row with a horizontal layout. It's got it's got horizontal gap between stuff of 4. But what that should actually be, if I just that down to 0. Actually no, we'll leave it at I want to put that at 16 so that if for whatever reason these things ever do touch, then there's going to be a little bit of gap. However, to keep going through this, so you've got your main component. So if you're thinking about this in terms of HTML, that will be the header element, and then within that we've got an inner container. Now the header div or element, as I'll be thinking about it in terms of HTML, yeah, column gap essentially. You're right. I've lost my train of thought. So you'll have your header element, which will be a flex component in this case, and if you look over here, this will be justify content center and things like that. Then we have an inner container, which will just be a div with a class of container, because we'll be using Tailwind, and that will have essentially, I think that has an MX Auto on it, which will center it, which is what we want. And what I've done in line with the ShadCN stuff. So if I just quickly pop over here, we go to GitHub and I scroll down to the Tailwind config. You'll see ShadCN actually modifies your Tailwind config so that the 2XL screen size is 1400 pixels. So what I've gone and done in order to match that up with my design document is made sure that in Figma this has a max width of 1400. So when we're using it in our design, you can see it doesn't matter how much I stretch this out, that middle inner container is always going to be 1400, very similar to how it would be when you're actually building this out. And then you can see here, because I've left, if I just quickly pop back on over to it, because I've left I think it's 4 pixels, where is it here? Is this one? Horizontal padding, yeah. Because I've left 4 pixels horizontal padding, there's always going to be that sort of small gap either side. So again, thinking about Figma in terms of how you would actually build these things. And then, jumping to the point, we've got the inner container here, which has our logo. Now what I've gone and done is set all of these elements to fill in terms of their width, to try and fill the width of the inner container, which will be an auto layout again, similar to Flex. And while that sort of mimics the grow behavior of the CSS property when you have Flex stuff, which will be quite handy as well. Now, next thing I want to do, so I also have, if you imagine here, this will be another Flex container or auto layout in Figma, and again another Flex container here. So if I'm clicking this, and we are basically going to start, I basically want to add a search field into this. So to do that, if we click over here, I just show these quickly. We don't want, so in order to envision this, if I take this off and if I make sure this one's selected, and we search for input field, I think. Input field with label. No, that's too much. In fact, let's just pull a few of these out. So we got that one, that works. What else have we got? An input. Oh no, let's stick that somewhere else. So let's put that up here somewhere. Drag that out. So input with placeholder. Now that one works quite nicely actually. So then we can just narrow it down and change the background color a little bit. I mean, actually, what I'm kind of thinking is, so if we pop on over to ShadCN, I'm almost thinking instead of, you might as well use, yeah, display grid. I mean, Figma doesn't have a display grid, but in terms of how it would translate over, yeah, display grid would work quite nicely. I think the only issue with using display grid in this example would be you would lose the flexibility. Then again, display grid and columns do have the FR syntax, but there's 100. Nice thing about it, there's 101 ways to do it. But yeah, you're right. Display grid would work quite nicely. But yeah, but what I was thinking for this search, this search box is maybe instead of having the little search bar in the header, maybe an icon that when you click it opens up, not like this, almost like a modal, so a context menu. So we don't want that. Dialogue maybe. So we click this. Yeah, maybe something like that. Similar to how if we're in here and we do, well, that's this Command K, but I'm on Windows at the moment. Something like this, and then that enables us to search. So do we have... You're right, there would be less containers. I suppose, because in grid you can set it up so that either side to be 1FR, and then you could use min-max syntax for the middle bits. Yeah, we'll get round to that when I start building out again. But what I need is it's not a combo box. Commands. About usage, examples, dialogue. So that says press Command J. That works. And I think that literally just opens it up as a dialogue. Command input, command group, command dialogue. Okay. We'll worry about that when it gets to the code, I think. So for now, what I'll do is we'll stick in here. We'll get a button. And let's do another button. No, we won't actually. I don't like that. We'll do a search icon. Oh wait, hold on. Search input. What's this? Oh, that works. That works quite nicely actually. So if I was to pop over here and in my header right, stick that before the login button, that works quite nicely. And then actually what I could do if I'm going down that route, so login, well, login's never going to show at the same time as the avatar thing. So if we get rid of that, because login's a bigger element, so we'll leave that on for now, so I can get an idea of that. And then I actually don't like, now that we've got this search bar here, I don't actually like this in the center anymore. So what I'm going to do is grab this and press Shift A, and then I believe I should be able to. So if I grab so if I pop in here, we grab the logo, we change that from field container to HUD contents. Yep, and then we'll grab that again and we'll change that to HUD contents as well. That works like that. And then we'll pop in here. We'll just stick that on something like 32, like so. And I think that works quite nicely. So if I now pop on over to my home page thing, we can see that's all updated quite nicely. Downside is it's now over there. So if we pop back over to custom components, and we just zoom in over here, we click this, go to the search input, and one of the things I need to do is create a property, and well, we won't do that. So show search input like so, and the default value will be true. That's fine. Create property. So then what I can do is if I pop on over to the home page, we click this, we can turn that off, and that puts that back to how it was before. And I think we should have a search icon. Yeah, so if I pop on over to custom components again, and what I'll do is inside header right, we'll stick a search icon like that, and we'll give that a property show. Hold on, what did that say? Show icon search. Yeah, we'll leave that as it is. We'll put that as false by default, like so. And then one thing I do want to do is we'll change this as well. Header left, and we'll take that and we're going to duplicate it, and we'll just want, and for this one what I'll do is knock the font size down to about, well, knock it down to, I'll try it on 20 first, but we're going to say logo mobile, and by having a second logo here it will allow us to have the mobile version of it. But if we look for layer and we just do create property, again show logo mobile, although if we click that, go to property, then let's edit it, and the default value is going to be false. Okay, now if I pop on over to the home page where we can see what this looks like on mobile, if we click here, we're going to show that, actually one thing I need to do, we'll pop over to custom property again, we'll click on the main logo, just going to add a property to that, show logo desktop, default's going to be true, there we go, and pop over to the home page, and so turn that off, show the small logo, I want to show the search icon as well, and that works quite nicely. Now that's Android large, but one thing I think we should check is what this is going to look like on Android small. No, there is a really small phone out there, and as much as I wish people didn't use it, they do, and it's 320 pixels wide, which I believe is what the WCAG, I believe, guidelines say the smallest you should actually be building for is 320 pixels, but there we go. Now it's just C, so if header bar, so if we grab our header bar component, just want to drag over to here, and we just whack that in the corner, move that over, make it nice and small like so, and we keep the login button, we show, turn navigation off, turn that off, turn that off, turn that on. We want the burger menu and we want the search icon. I think that works quite nicely. Yeah. So then, looking at this, if we pop on, I think, yeah, show avatar. So if we turn the avatar on and turn the login button off, you get your avatar button there. The only thing I'm not sure about is I think, yeah, if we don't do it that way, we should pop on over to our custom components, and if we look over here and we just move, make sure, so there's your icon menu, we make sure that is below avatar like so, hop on over to the home page, and we can see everything works quite nicely. So, and that is as reusable as that component needs to be. So we'll delete that one for now. Okay, sweet. Next thing, if I'm popping back on over to my Exscalidraw thing, is that's all going to be searchable. So when we click down mobile, we can open a dialog, but I'll worry about that whilst I'm actually building the thing. Next thing, I think we should jump straight in to showing off some of the features that have been uploaded to the site. So if we pop over here, I've got the dog sitting next to me. There we go. We've got our container here. And this is on a rather big screen, but I think the next thing we should work on, I'm going to work on it in isolation. Well, actually first, we're going to say, we'll grab some text and we'll say, in fact, no, can I grab H1 here? Seeing as this is a new site, we kind of need a H1 for SEO reasons. So we'll say, welcome to Feature Realm. Pop that here. And then we're just going to and where is all my library stuff gone? That doesn't matter. I'm going to just grab some lorem ipsum for now and come back to this. Yeah, whatever. Generate some lorem ipsum, and we'll just grab, I don't know, that. We'll stick that in here, and we shall definitely just want a p tag. Local styles, yep. Oh, it's been such a long time since I've used Figma properly. Let me just grab, so that text box is gone. If we grab this, yep, it's fine. Figma just give me a warning then. Design, and we shall grab, aha, here it is, this is what I wanted. P tag, that's so. And that is a little bit too big. Tell you what, I'll definitely do this as a text box. So paste that in there, and that works quite nicely. Now one thing, we change the settings so that auto height, that's the one I want. And what we will do is to make this match up with the Tailwind stuff. I think Tailwind actually, let's have a look at Tailwind typography, so that's what I'm going to be using for the styling of that. Somewhere in here, we want to check out documentation, and somewhere in here, styles.js. Yeah, there it is. So margin top 1614. Okay. So it's 16. So if we pop back on over to Figma, we just make sure that is 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In fact, what am I doing? Make that an auto layout. Just then, if that's an auto layout, I can just use this stuff and it'll be just like it's HTML, which makes me happy. Now, I am shamelessly going to use Product Hunt as inspiration in a second, but before I do that, line height 24 divided by 14, pop this in here, 1.7. If we just pop back over here, I just want to double check. If we open up this, somewhere in here, there will be stuff about line height, or will there? No, it'll be, well, that'll be matching Tailwind anyway, so that's what this is all from. Now, let me just pop on over to Product Hunt. Let's nick some inspiration. So this is what this is very similar to be. Welcome Product Hunt. Let me just close that. We'll close that. So we're not going to nick the emoji because that will be doing word for almost direct copy. But I do kind of like how this is in its own separate thing. So yeah, okay. Intro text. We'll also move that below the header bar. Click here and let's just grab libraries. Let's grab primary. No, let's done it wrong. That's selection colors. What we want is this. Grab the primary color, but can I add tint like that? And then we'll just pop in here. Oh, go away. Create variable. Pop in here. Oh, where's it gone? Oh, it's create a local variable. No, we don't want that. Let me undo everything I just did. We want to click here, add one to this called tint. And it's going to be, click that, we'll grab this, we'll just knock it down to like maybe 20. Like so, create style. So we'll grab this, grab that, tint, like so. And then because this is an auto layout, we can then add some padding. So I think 16 pixels works quite nicely. And what we'll do as well is round those corners off just a little bit. Here we go. So we'll say 8, I think works quite nicely. Like so. Then I can just search. What I'll do is we'll grab this and we'll say, well, what have I got? 570. So you kind of want, I think the golden rule I used to abide by is 11 words per line, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think that is as much as we'll go. So we'll just round this up to 620, like so. That works like that. So welcome to Feature Realm. I'll leave that as Lorem Ipsum for now until I have some time to do some better copy. But let's have a look at product. So recent shout outs. So these guys, yeah. Okay. And then down here, so, but what I'm kind of thinking is that should end up being a component in itself. So if we grab that, pop over to our custom components, just go in here, and we're going to call this call out. Then we'll make that a component. Then in here we'll make this. Okay, so that's not what we want. Go to the component itself, properties. We'll say text, title. That's not how you spell title. Like that. And then we'll say, and then value will be welcome to feature realm. Create property. And then we'll grab that layer, we'll click this. How do I? Oh, I can't remember the button. So we'll click on this. Not used within component. Now, what I can't remember is how create component property. Here it is. I knew it was around this somewhere. Title. And that will allow us to edit that and make it a little bit more reusable. Next thing we'll do is click on that again, and we'll click this, and we'll click text, and we'll just say, well, we'll just keep it as text. Before we do that, let me just grab that, and we'll parent component, add another property, text, whack that in there, create property, and then we shall, where's what I'm looking for? Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, we don't want to select that, and we'll apply that to text, like so. Now what we want, if I click on this call out, close, nope, let's try cross, let's try X, yeah, that one works. Let's grab that. Now what we want is to absolutely position that up here. What we'll do is say it's going to be, so I think the Y and absolute position and X, so we'll say 16. No, it's too much. 8. And then we'll just move that over just a little bit, like so. Then, to make this reusable again, we're going to pop into here. We're going to move over to our layers, and we're going to leave the default as true. Leave the default as false, so it doesn't display by default. Why is that open? Let's close that before I get confused. And yeah, okay. So then we'll go back to our home page, we'll delete that, search for call out, pop that here, like so. Sweet. You know what? Just while I'm here, Feature Realm is your one-stop shop for discovering the feature you need from a community of product and S makers. Something like that, I think, works quite nicely. And then we can tick that to turn that on if we wanted to. We can have, and then that makes it very similar to Product Hunt. But I see myself using that callout component quite a bit in the future. So next thing we want is I think latest most recent published features, and we'll click that and we'll make that a H2. Is that H2? No, it's still P tag. Must have clicked off of it. Whoa. So what's that then? If that's a text, that should be. Oh wow, no, hold on, that's way too big. H3. Yeah. Most recent published features, like so. And due to how I like to think about things, this isn't related to that. So if I look at how far away is, it's 32. So I want to move it down to. Nope, I'm highlighted the wrong thing. There we go. So move that down. So then that is 32 pixels away from that. This should be right at the top, like so. So if I click that, Y0, yep, that's fine. That's that. Have a call out there. Header bar needs to be at the top. That needs to be under that, like so. Keeping everything organised. And again, when I like to do these things, I like to think of them as HTML, which is why I'm sort of keeping everything here organised. Also, it helps with finding things as well. But I'm curious. No, they didn't do that. So I was wondering about a design thing where, because this is indented, sometimes what people like to do is then indent the text here so that that lines up with that. Personally, I think I'm going to leave it as is. So yeah. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is work on our feature cards. So we're working that in isolation again, and we'll click over here and let's grab. Do I have plugins? Unsplash. That one. Run. Search. Laptop. Search. That'll do. Grab that. Way too big, but that's fine. And using it as a placeholder image for now. move that back over here. Like so. Now, the next thing we want to work on our feature cards. Now, the first thing I would say is the thumbnails need to be squares. I think 150 is a bit too much, so we'll drop it down to about 120, like so. Put that over the top of this. And we'll use that as, so if I highlight both of these, we use that as, is this the one? Use as mask, here we go. So Control Alt M, not what I had in mind. So that needs to be behind that. We highlight both of those, Control Alt M, like so. Then we'll pop onto here and we'll say, what should we do as an example feature? AI chat feature which searches which integrates with documentation, like so. Now if we clicked on this, I think that will just make that H3, like so. We'll stick another thing here. We'll say this is a fancy tagline for the product feature. That doesn't make sense. There we go. And I think then we'll grab this. In fact, do I have card in components? Yeah, we do have some cards. Project card. In fact, we have a bunch of stuff here, so I don't know why I'm making this from scratch. Let's go have a look at components here. And let's have a look. So we've got context menus, buttons, navigation menus, progresses, select, scroll areas, separators, sliders, switches, tabs, tooltips. Nothing in there. So if I want to move that up there, like primitives. And if we just zoom out a little bit. It seems that there's a lot more components than what this is letting on. Just slightly irritating. Pop down the primitives again. Navigation stuff. In fact, quite like those. I'll have to think about nicking those for my navigation instead. Maybe. Just pop on over to this. Bum 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 bum. Okay. So I'm going to be right back. So I just want to go grab myself a drink, and then we'll carry on. Right, let's carry on. Stop mucking about as well. So we'll try and make a bit more progress. So the most recent published features. One thing I've been thinking about is with how simple this application is actually going to be. That's a lot of white space. And although if I pop back on over to where is it? Did I still have it open? Or was it in here? Yeah, it was in here. Although ShadCN overwrites this and put the 2XL at 1400 pixels, I think for my app that's going to be a little bit too much. So what I'm going to do is I'll pop on over to our custom components. We're going to click here And we're going to grab our inner container, which I almost want to make a component in itself. In fact, I think I will. If I grab that, we stick that up here. No. Let's not do that. No, I do want to do that. I want to grab... You know what? It's fine. We'll do that another time. Grab this and we'll grab this here. Match width for 1400. I actually think I'm going to make that 1080, which does make everything a bit tighter, but I think in the long run it'll work a bit better. So if I pop on over to the home page, we can now see everything's a bit more snug, like so. Bring this stuff in as well, like that. So if I click that and we actually then preview this, I think, if you try to imagine this on, well, it actually puts it in a nice little laptop screen there. I think that will work a lot nicer, personally. It's annoying it does that. But yeah, there we go. Okay, close that down. Most recent published features. What I kind of don't want. If we move that, oh, so it's against that, and then we'll make sure that it's about 42. Actually, I don't mind how far away that is, so we'll do that. And then I'm just going to grab a line and we'll stick that underneath here. In fact, separator. Radix primitives and open source UI component library. So it must have the Radix primitives stuff in here, I think. Separator, all libraries, UI kits, so it's got the UI kits, local components, all libraries. God knows where that is then. But for now, I'm just going to put a line under that, like so. And for the colour, there goes the dog. Give me 2 seconds. Sorry about that. But what was I doing? Yeah, I was making, just giving this a little bit more jazz. So what we'll do is we'll grab that, stick that underneath here, like so. And we'll stick that underneath here. Make the colour for that a tint of that. And we'll just move it up a bit closer, like so. Most recent published features, like that. Leave that as it is. We'll grab both of these, group them, title. Most recent title, like that. Next thing we were actually working on was the feature card, and the way we're going to do that is I'm actually going to pop on over to the cards stuff, and I'm going to, so if I put that on light, I want to see, let's have a look. So go to inspect, I think the card component in here is actually quite simple. So if I go in here, we search for card, I'm just going to take one of those. Definitely not, I'm not actually sure where this component has come from. It says 06 card. Definitely isn't in this 16 pricing card. See, where is this even coming from? No, I don't know. Let's grab that. Let's get rid of that. We'll keep, well, we won't keep that, but we'll grab that. Going to make these smaller. And let's rename that to feature card. I'm going to make that smaller, move that below that so that it's in the correct order. We'll grab this, move that underneath there, and what we'll do, is this an auto layout? Yeah, it must be. And then we'll grab this, stick it in there, we'll grab that, stick that in there, we'll grab that, and we'll say that's going to HUD the contents, and we'll also grab this mask group and stick that in there as well. Next thing we'll do is we'll make it so everything is horizontal. We'll make this placeholder image like so, and then we'll grab these things, turn those into a thing, and we'll call this text or details like so, and we'll make those stack. Also not these, so these things are related, so make it like that, and we'll also make it so everything aligns like so. And then we'll pop into our details, we'll grab this stuff, and that's not going to be H3, it'll probably be lead, I think. What's the difference between lead and large? And just normal paragraph. And PUI, what is that? No idea. PUI medium. Body. Oh, I think this stuff should be body. Yeah, that works, but I like that a lot more. Okay. Then we'll change this to lead. Then pill, nope, badge. Let's have a look in the primitives again. See if there's like a badge component. As Shadcien does have a badge component, but I get the feeling that it's not included in this design file. So, unless it's in components, Nah. Okay. Pop in custom components and. Ooh. Okay. First thing I think we'll do is we'll create. Stick something in here and we'll call it. Put that there. And we shall call this. My brain has just completely turned to mush. Yeah, okay. Product. And let's just stick that here. And bear with me 2 seconds. Let me just go close. And I'm back again. Okay. Call that product. I think we're going to. So we'll call that product and. Super duper doc. Call it super duper doc. And let's just highlight all of that. We'll make that our primary colour. Which is this one. We'll also make it. So let's detach it from that and make it bold. Like so. And then we'll grab the whole thing. And we just want to change want small. So it's a bit like that. Yeah. Next thing I think we'll do is knock down that to about 16. Why didn't that move? There we go. 16. Oh wait, no, that's spacing. We don't want that. For the feature card, yep. Here we go. Right, so we'll change this to 16. Change that to 16. Like so. I think that works quite nicely. Give me 2 secs. Right, okay, so fancy tagline for the we've got product that. The next thing we need on these feature cards is like a like button. And I think for that we probably have, if I'm lucky, like a thumbs up. Hey. Which we can stick in that. And I can move it below here. But if I make that an auto layout, oops, like so, then what I can do is, I wonder if I add a fill to that, of, go to our libraries and we just choose primary default. No, that's not going to fill it. I can focus on that in build anyway, so it's not a big deal. But if we do that, and I have that as actions, call this actions, like so. And we also put a button in here, and we drag that into our buttons auto layout, line everything up to the center, like so. And then I fill the container, and there is a way, click this, auto, you stick that over towards the end like that, except I feel like that should go there, like so. No, I prefer that the other way around, like that. And then on the button we change the text to say view feature, like so. Now I don't know if this, so type loading outline ghost, no, ghost doesn't look good. Outline, nah, I think default is probably our best bet, like so. Then what I think we're going to do is also wrap all of this stuff. So what I'll do is if I grab all of this stuff here, grab these two, and turn those into things, and we'll put that as the title. And we'll make that have horizontal spacing of 4, which will be 4 pixels. And then if we grab these two and make those an auto layout, and we'll just call this text, and we'll make that 16, so there's a 16 gap space between that. And then in details, if we whack that to be 18, it's 18, 16, say 20. I think that works quite nicely. I mean, in terms of visual hierarchy, the product category is related to the title, the text is unrelated to both of those, and then the button or the actions are something else. So actually, let's grab this, make that 24. Let's make it 32. Like so, and then I think you grab this again, grab the text, make that 12. Just to bring that up a bit. No, I don't like that. Make it 8. I think 8 works quite nicely. Yeah. No. Being fussy again. Make it 12. There we go. And that is our feature card. Although I seem to have lost text on my button. So let me just change that again to view feature. There we go. Okay, and we'll make that a component. Grab that here and we'll whack that below that. Like so. Now we can pop onto our home page, pop over here, and we'll grab feature card, grab that, we'll stick that there, like so, and then we're just going to knock that down a bit. We'll grab both of these, turn it into an auto layout, feature list, and we'll just whack 16 on those, so it's like a column gap, and then when we're coding that up we'll put it a select box with a gap, or even a grid would work too, like so. Most recent features, most recent published features. And then I can basically add a few of those in, like so. In fact, we'll just have the 3 for the most recent published features. Yeah, I think that works quite nicely. Like so. Okay. Then I think the next thing we want to do, I'm going to delete this for now and get rid of that, is if I click this, we're going to call this home page. I may come back and do the footer a little bit later, I think. So we'll do that a little bit later, and yeah. Hey Eva, sorry I missed your message. And then we'll just, so we've got our home page. We'll duplicate that over to here. And the next thing we'll do is have what the actual feature looks like. So if we delete that, delete this, actually no, we'll keep that, and we'll delete that as well. Move that up to about there. And we'll say We'll grab this title. We'll grab this image. We'll just make that a bit bigger. Like so. Just want to quickly look at what Product Hunt does. Using this as a bit of a guide. So I think they're using, so if I do that and refresh the page, we actually get that. Now I quite like the way they do this. So we are going to shamelessly steal some of it. So we're going to move this over like so. We're going to delete that. We're going to copy this. Pop this up here. Like so. Then we are going to Shift I, button, drag the button on here. The type is going to be just icon. And then the icon, if it lets me do it, is going to be thumbs up. Like so. Like this feature. And we're also, I think, going to stick a small number on there. So we're going to say 99, like so. Then we are going to make that nice and small. We grab that and we just make it so we find the small, that, no, detail, like that. And then I just want to grab a circle, like so. Put that behind it. Like that. Then we'll just grab this and also choose the primary default color, like that. And we'll grab this, make it white, like that. I think we're going to cut that out, go into custom components, paste it in here, and call that badge, like so. And if we just pop in here, we're going to go to properties, text, 99 for now. We're just going to whack that down the bottom as well, just so that again matches the order in which these things have been created. And then we'll pop over to our pages, we'll call that now, so it's no longer just a home page. And over here we're going to badge, stick that there. Now what I don't like about that is rather large. So pop over to our custom components. Now what I cannot remember for the life of me is how the properties work. So if I put number one, we want to assign that to text. Then we want to go on the badge again, and we want properties. And I think we are going to want a variant in this case. Click one variant, and in here we'll call size, and we'll just say that's default. We'll call this one small, and all we'll do is just, so if I just undo what I did, just click on text, click on that, we'll detach it from the normal size, and we'll just knock it down to maybe 8 pixels, and we'll still, in fact if I click that, oh it doesn't matter, if we go to our small one, click that, and we're still going to make sure they are centered, and we're just going to knock that down just a bit more. We'll center those again like so. Then I think if we pop on over to pages, click this, and we change that to small, that works a bit better. Although so then if we zoom out, yeah, okay. Yeah, we don't have to nick. I think if we grab this and we pop on over to our custom components, just paste that in there. And we'll just make, oh, hold on, create a component, there we go. Like button, oh, like button, like so. And then I can pop back over to my pages, zoom out, pop on over to our, oh, in fact, I'll make life a bit easier as well. Pop on over to this, and we'll get rid of that. We'll grab our like button, stick that there. You can sort of see how all of these things become very composable with the different components and stuff, and then everything's updating across all of the different pages as well, so you can sort of see now all of these now have their various like buttons and things like that, like this. But yeah, now it works all quite nicely. Next thing I think we'll do is, so if I grab that, we make that a thingy component. Oh crud. Let's undo this. So delete that, like button, stick that here like so. And we just grab these things, make that an auto layout, and we're going to center them. Just want to zoom in. Oh, where's it gone? Control 0, zoom to 100%. Zoom in like that then. Don't like how okay, what I think I'll do is if I pop on over to custom components and we zoom in on this, we grab and we tick the badge and we make the badge on the light button. So this is a frame. What's that? Resize to fit? Nope. On this badge, I want that to be there's a way to make this. So let's make the whole thing an auto layout. There we go. And then let's click on the badge and make the badge absolutely positioned. Then I can grab that and move that up to here. I think. Oh. Like so. Move the badge inside our like button. Oh. So, hold on. Auto layout, make the badge absolutely positioned. Then stick that up there like that. Then I think if I do it like that, yeah, that then centers everything else because it's absolutely positioned, which is what I want. Oh, hey Anna, sorry I missed the message. Move that down like so. And then we'll grab another button. And this one I actually think we are going to use icon or some, or yeah, link, no. Yeah, we'll use outline and we'll just click this and we'll change that to view product, like so. Then we'll highlight both of those and we'll stick them in the middle and make that more of a rounded number, maybe like 48. Like so. Now I think I would rather these things are the other way around. Like so. View product, like this feature. Like that. Yeah, I think that works quite nicely. Now we'll grab the tagline, which is just going to be that. Paste it over here. Let's move this down. In fact, ungroup, nope. In fact, if I grab this, let's move that in here. And then I want to make that an auto layout. And I think I'm going to put the tagline above that, like so. Auto layout these two things. So I can just put these as 12 pixels. Nope. Let's make that 4. Then that puts those two things there. Then we'll grab these and line them up like so. In fact, I don't actually like that at all. Let's move that here. Then we'll grab this and we'll just say 24. Bit of a space. Then I don't think we want the line. Okay. Next thing we'll do, I think, is add a description. Just whack that there, leave that as, so one thing we need to do actually, so that's, so that now needs to be a H1, which is way too big. Can I change that to auto height and move that in like so? Grab this, change that to 16, nope, 32, like so. Don't like that. I know that's the font style they've set for the H1s, but it's too much. Now that's all over the place. Change it to auto height, and then we'll grab that stuff and change that back to 16, maybe 8. Just check. Okay. Yeah, next thing I think we're going to need them on this, it will be an avatar profile picture thing, which I think will work quite nicely. So we'll stick it like Let's grab all of this, move it down. I'm not sure about this bit actually. One thing I know I want to get in here is a breadcrumb. So let's see if I can get that in. Nope. So that's custom components. We'll zoom out. Stick here. You know what? I'm not going to make that a component because there's absolutely no point. Shadcn already pulls one in. So what I'm just going to do is, and also it's going to be way too customizable as well. But what I'll do, pop into pages, and we'll say features, AI. No, it's products. Document AI. Features. Document AI. And then AI chat feature, which integrates with documentation. And we'll pop on over to this, and I think the one we want is detail. That didn't work. We'll stick that up here, like so. Move all of this down just a tad. Then I think we won't use that avatar. We'll actually stick that in here. And in fact, we'll move that to be the first thing. Like so. So then we'll call this actions row. And then here, title section. No, call that title section. This text. And you can see how, as I'm going through this, I'm sort of thinking in terms of how I'm going to build the component out in React or Next.js when I get to it. I think this row spacing is a little bit too much, so we'll just put that 32. I think that looks a bit nicer. Yeah. So there's your title section, and then where is this highlighted? Ah, that's there. So we're going to drag that up. We're going to rename this to breadcrumbs. Our description. Delete that for now. And then we'll grab this bit and this bit. So if we open this up, details, electrical details, and then we'll grab this and this auto layout and call it title section, like so. Move this to be into the middle, like so. Yeah. And I think for now we're going to leave that here. Let me just pop over, see if there's anything in the chat. There is not. Happy days. But yeah, I'm going to leave that here for now, guys, and we'll pick this up next time, possibly on Monday, maybe even tomorrow evening, I'm not sure yet. And yeah, we'll go from there. I may even create a video about how I use Figma and how I think about things when I'm sort of creating the components and putting everything together, because I think that might be quite interesting to a few people.